In the quiet town of Nurabad, nestled among golden fields and distant hills, lived an elderly man named Baba Kareem. His house stood tall and wide, filled with echoes of laughter and memories from days gone by. Once, it was filled with the joyful chaos of his children running around and his wife humming in the kitchen. But now it echoed with silence. His children had grown and moved to big cities for work and a better life. Though they called often and sent gifts, visits were rare. Baba Kareem never complained. He understood life had moved on. But deep in his heart, he missed the warm hugs, the shared meals, the little arguments, all the things that stitched relationships together. Part 2. The Old Diary. One rainy afternoon, as Baba Kareem sat by the window, he found an old leather-bound diary, a gift from his late wife. It held stories of their youth, handwritten letters from his children, and dried flower petals from his garden. As he flipped through the pages, he found a note from his youngest daughter, Ariba, written when she was 10. Dear Baba, I love when you hold my hand while crossing the street. It makes me feel safe. You are my hero. Please never forget me when I grow up. Tears welled in his eyes. He had never forgotten, but it seemed they had forgotten what it meant to make someone feel important. Part 3. Ariba's realization. Far away, Ariba was now a successful software engineer. One night, while clearing out old files on her laptop, she stumbled upon a scanned image of her childhood letter to her father, the same one he had in the diary. Suddenly, memories flooded in. Baba's warm hands, his stories, how he always waited at the gate when she returned from school. A pang of guilt hit her. She had not visited in over a year. She sat on her bed and thought, success means nothing if I can't make those who matter feel important. Part 4. The visit without telling anyone. Ariba took a week off and arrived at Baba Kareem's doorstep. The old man, surprised and overjoyed, hugged her tightly. That evening, they laughed over tea, shared stories, and walked down memory lane. She told him, Baba, I realized something. Relationships aren't just about being connected by blood or phone calls. They're about making people feel valued, seen, heard, and important. With teary eyes, Baba Kareem replied, Beta, that is the essence of every relationship. Finale, the lesson. From that day on, Ariba made it a point to visit regularly. She reminded her siblings, too. Slowly, the old house began to echo with laughter again. Moral of the story: in relationships, the most precious gift we can give is the feeling of importance. Words matter, but presence matters more. Never be too busy to remind someone they hold value in your heart, because in the end, it's not wealth but warmth that keeps relationships alive. Over the next few months, Baba Kareem's home started changing. It wasn't the walls or the furniture, it was the energy inside. Ariba visited every month. Her siblings, feeling the gentle tug of love and guilt, also began to make time for their father. Baba Kareem started gardening again, this time with his grandchildren who now visited during school holidays. The old swing creaked joyfully, and the kitchen smelled once again of cardamom tea and home-cooked meals. It was no longer just a house, it had returned to being a home. One evening, as the family sat in the courtyard, Ariba said, You know, Baba, I used to think life was about reaching somewhere far, but now I realize the most important place is right here with the people who matter. Part 6. A small celebration. To celebrate Baba Kareem's 75th birthday, the children arranged a surprise gathering. Old neighbors, friends, and relatives filled the house. Laughter echoed through the walls once more. Someone played the harmonium. Children danced, and Baba Kareem gave a short speech. He said softly, When people feel unimportant, relationships begin to fade like forgotten flowers. But a single act of love, a visit, a hug, or even a phone call, it can bring everything back to life. Everyone stood in silence for a moment. Then came applause, hugs, and tears. Even the grumpiest cousin couldn't hold back a smile. Part 7. The gift of presence. Ariba made one more promise that night. She started a family tradition, the circle of importance. Every Sunday, one family member would call or visit someone in the family and simply say, You matter to me. At first, it felt a little awkward, but with time, it became a cherished ritual. Even the younger children took part, writing small notes or sending drawings to their grandparents. Part 8. A Legacy of Love. Years later, after Baba Kareem's peaceful passing, Ariba placed the old diary on the family shelf. It wasn't just filled with memories. It had become a manual for love. She whispered, "Baba, we'll carry your message forward, to never let anyone in our life feel unimportant." And so his story lived on, not just in the pages of a diary, but in the actions of a family who rediscovered the power of making people feel valued. Years passed, but the lessons Baba Kareem taught through love, patience, and quiet strength never faded. His grandchildren grew up with stories of his kindness and the simple truth he lived by. Make people feel important. It is the thread that holds hearts together. Ariba, now a mother herself, often told her children, "Don't wait for the perfect moment to show someone they matter." Relationships aren't built on grand gestures, but on the small moments we choose to be present. Every birthday, anniversary, and even ordinary days became opportunities to express love, gratitude, and presence. The family remained close-knit, not because they were perfect, but because they remembered what Baba taught them. That importance is not given through words alone, but through time, effort, and sincere attention. The home that once echoed with silence had become a living legacy, full of voices, laughter, and the deep-rooted strength of bonds that were nourished with care. Moral of the story, final message. When someone feels important, they feel loved. In every relationship, family, friendship, or love, don't assume people know their value. Show them, remind them. Because in the end, it's not memories of wealth, but the warmth of importance that stays forever.